Righto, let's finish off this campaign, which by no means finishes off this long play. This long play has a whole lot more to go into it, but perhaps Chapter 5 will teach us a bit more of what we need to know in order to chew off creating a perfect Hansa. I need a better name than Perfect Hansa. I like the perfect something, but it's not really going to be a perfect Hansa unless we tackle Germany. Still, don't need to worry about that now. We have to worry about the Sierra Nevada. The end of the Civil War, construction of the Transcontinental Railway, da-da-da-da-da. Keep your eye on you as you overcome inaccessible heights of Sierra Nevada. Inaccessible? I'll be the judge of that. We don't get to choose diddly squat. Oh god, I don't like where we're located. Realistic, manual pause.
Meticulous planning, tables, figures, and hard facts.
Well, we can't choose anybody but the industrialist, sadly.
From the ashes of the war began the reconstruction, and nothing seemed to stand in the way of the Transcontinental Railroad. The works to cross the continent from the west had already begun several years before in California. An idea, once viewed with skepticism, soon became a project of great public interest, and with each mile of track laid, the hope of uniting America from east to west grew. Yet the climb from California over the snow-covered mountain passes into the inhospitable landscapes of Nevada proved to be one of the greatest engineering challenges of its time. So this is the plan. We come from the west through the Sierra Nevada. The Union Pacific Railroad crosses the Rocky Mountains from Rock Springs in the east. Our track meets north of Salt Lake City, and so the transcontinental connection is complete. As simple as that. But I'm still stuck here in Washington. The rights to laying tracks in Utah territory are still pending, and I have to hold some talks. And as for Collis Potter Huntington, I have a lot of persuading to do with my wallet. So you will start by laying the foundation of the Central Pacific Railroad. The Union Pacific Railroad is our major competitor. If they reach the meeting point before us, Thomas Durant will just continue laying his tracks in our direction. This will mean that they will receive all the land rights and not us. Every single mile will be a disaster for us. In addition to that, I'm having a little supply problem as far as money is concerned. So I can't transfer quite as much to you as would be necessary for a good start. So you'll have to get money quickly. First, you should expand the rail network in the West as there is a great demand for transport facilities there. I have noted down some tasks for you in that regard. Complete them quickly, and we'll have enough capital to push on to the meeting point once the land rights have been sorted.
Hello, my dear. So we meet again. The Mississippi didn't appeal to me as much anymore, and besides, I wanted to visit my old boss from Chicago. She now has several pretty cottages along the coast.
Hello, hello! Close the pressure regulator, check the pump, refill the water, and off we go! I hope you have an exciting journey!
Perhaps we're going to have the wrong kind of exciting with these two, quibbing constantly at my side. Got Doc Martin and Beatrix. And now here's the real question. Can I buy them out? Now that would just be so good. Yes, I could. I certainly could. And I've got to say it's extremely tempting. Just kill them both immediately. Probably not in the spirit of the game, but listening to them all the while sounds quite insufferable. You know what? Let's make a little save here. And see if this works the way I think it might work. And it might not. We go to our friend the bank. We demand every penny the bank can spare us. Every last penny. And then we go to our company, go to our competitors, and 3.5 million to merge with you. I don't think you have enough money to justify that. Oh no, the optional tasks. Optional? Oh Christ, no. Oh good God, no. God, this place seems obsessed with San Francisco. Express connection between San Francisco and Los Angeles. I don't know much about Los Angeles. Can't imagine them wanting that. Okay, let's just do it. Let's kill these people off. Well, the most important thing is I kill Beatrix off. She's got to go. Give me everything. Merge our companies. Liquidate everything. Oh dear, that's not a lot of money to be taken over from her.
You always meet twice, my dear. That's a threat, not a promise.
I'm just glad she's gone. And that kill... She was in the north then, and the dock is in the south. And I could still buy and destroy the dock. Well, bye dock. It was nice knowing you, but not that nice.
This backward-looking market simply wasn't ready for my spectacular genius.
Well, owe it to the game for giving me so much money to start off with. He double bonded for about $830,000 and still in the positive. Yeah. No, I started with $3 million and I am now in debt because of that. Where am I looking at? Here we go. So I think I lost about $400,000, but you know, worth it. Worth it to just get rid of them, because the AIs just keep talking and talking. I'll keep them around when I play on free play mode though. Well, until I legitimately have enough money to kill them off. But an experience like this is not improved by having them gab and gab. Okay, Sacramento and San Francisco both produce the meat. Reading does not. I would be very interested in getting beer on the go, because beer is something everyone seems to want. Beer and meat seem to be the building blocks. Lots of meat, tons of meat. There's people all wanting the fat stacks of meat around here, but where can I get some beer? Well, more to the point, where can I get some grain to turn into beer? Ah, there's some grain. Right next to Gold Beach, no less. Can I build all the way up to Gold Beach? I can. So it might be an idea to... Oh, Gold Beach is in a really unpleasant place to do that, though. Reading is in a much more amicable location to have a warehouse full of beer that pumps out to Sacramento, San Francisco, just basically everywhere. And if I build it up myself... Eh, how you like that? There we go, all the beer we could ever want from Reading. What are my tasks anyway? 4 cities, 8 rural businesses. Achieve a quarterly profit of 600,000 simoleons. Should be easy enough. I can't see how it would be hard if nothing else. Do these places want grain as well, for what it's worth? Yeah, they actually like eating regular grain too. So I should have this come down to a warehouse in Reading and connect these up with the regulars. I don't have the 5 million I started out with before, so I'm not going to have some massive sprawling setup straight away. But I've got some good stuff nonetheless. Alright, let's do it then. A regular train station with signaling control should be all we need in Sacramento. And I might set up wee warehouses in all of the cities. Yeah, segregating warehouses for... Oh my god, that location is horrible for this. I'm probably going to put in a terminal station with signaling control for San Francisco. But can I also fit a warehouse here? Can I get you a warehouse? I can. It'll be awkward, but I can. Strictly needs to be connected up with you, though. Huh, that works pretty well. Might be more than I should be considering spending right now, though. I think it's better just to know that I can. I shouldn't be burning my money like that when I don't need to. How about you, Sacramento? What are we looking for here? We can have a lovely passing through station like this. Where are the goods gonna go, though? I could have the warehouse behind you and the... Well, either way, they're gonna need to cross over each other. This music seems so high, so fast-paced for what's going on here. They don't let you get away with a lot until you start linking things up, so link up I should, but not to the point where I'm going to be going through any tunnels, heavens no, that's a cost too much. There we go, now that's the inner turn, so I know that's okay. Bring you right there, bring you along here, and just like that, these two can be linked up. And I should probably always be signaling, then supply towering, and then adding a locomotive so I don't forget about these things. Oh, but they give me a ton of research. Oh, jings, I shouldn't have been building without my research. Could be really good research. Gives me the dragon and the standardized components, both of which I really want off the bat. So, gimme and gimme. It's a shame. It really dissuades me from doing the company and construction bonuses because they don't count towards the innovations for trains and locomotives. Increases number of passengers. Yeah, we like passengers. We like passengers a lot. Any of this old stuff going to be worth my time? Number of passengers by 10% for upholstery. Transportation fee for freight. I'd get the quicker locomotive. Freight, express. Yeah, I definitely want some better express trains. But the Tyson 10-wheeler... it tempts me ever so. At 60 kilometers per hour, I could use that for freight. But it's not that much faster than a dragon. I think I'll just stick to the dragon. For freight, I could go for the consolidation 280. That's a lot of research away, but I could get it done, especially if I research cheap stuff on the way. Reduce maintenance requirements, that's nice, but so too are getting more people in with some seated upholstery. Nah, power them up. Reduce maintenance. And more money. Alright, good enough. Glad I did that before buying myself my locomotive. So, again, this is our express train. And I'm all about the expressing. Dining car, mail car. And you go from... Oh, dear God. I already had you there, didn't I? I'll be sure to get rid of that then. Passengers and mail only, get it done, get you cloned, and get the second one to start in San Francisco. Done and done. Alright, so Sacramento already had a train station, and now it didn't. Bye-bye. It was the wrong kind of train station anyway, it didn't have the sweet signal controls. That's all well and good, but that's only passengers and mail. That's not going to build the places up. San Francisco is going to want that meat and that maize. And do they even want sugar? They do. They want all of the above. So maybe setting up the warehouse here wouldn't be too bad an idea. But I can do that later. Oh, I bet they want milk as well. All the Americans love milk. Nah, it needs 40,000 Denzians, but they won't be far away from that. Kinda disgusting to pour so much into San Francisco, but it is the most conveniently located place right now. Fruits and veggies, how about those? No, but soon enough. Kind of a shame that they have absolutely no desire until you reach a certain level. In Patrician, they would have a desire for everything, it would just be quite low. They would always use bricks, for example. Hell, they would always use salt, even if they didn't have a salting industry. And I kind of miss that. Okay, what I will do is I shall put down a major line here. And I'll have all of these guys fold into it. Although I'm probably going to have to follow whatever makes me need the fewest additions to the track. Oh god, that's some earthworking. Just call me Earthwork Jim here. Still, anything that isn't a tunnel is better news for me. Guess that'll do. That honestly isn't that expensive, given where I'm building. Oh, Jengs. That's such a stock cow sound. There we go. Might be pricey, but it's what we're doing. And then it's just the minor case of connecting these things up. I say minor, this is going to be a colossal pain, I dare say. Do the tighter one first. Which one's tighter? You're tighter, surely. Swell. Now I can get rid of this extra stuff, because nobody needs that. Oh, that was a mistake. Because now extending this further down here is going to be even more difficult. And for all I know, I'm going to need this track quite a lot. Oh yeah, Crivens, what have I done? Well, actually, I might prefer a main line going down here. This seems like a lot smoother anyway. Alright, let's just believe that what we did was a great choice. Such a fast-paced tune here. I guess it would make sense if you were playing on Trainaholic mode where you can't pause, but I am in no way up for that kind of experience. No pause mode just sounds like, well, just kind of why would you do that to yourself territory? There you go. And there was another industry, surely. Ah, yes, you. Get you in there, and get you along here. And all's well and good. They do implicitly get their signaling off of the main one, so I shouldn't need to add any more. But, you know, let's just make sure. Grand. Now we just set them up, and we can have dragoons here. Oh, because it's new. The big flat spot in the middle is Central Valley. That's where all the vegetables come from. All of them? That sounds like a bit of fibbing to me. Alright, now I can just clone that one and say, instead of woody breeding, you go to the Walker Farm. Great, and then I can clone that and say, instead of the Walker Farm, you go to the Parker Farm. And I made a mistake. I should have told them all. Yeah, I made a considerable mistake. I should have told them all to grab the maximum of everything wherever you go. But it's an easy change to make. Walker Farm, maximum. Because there's no point going back and forth if you're just taking like 2 cows to San Francisco. It's not going to improve throughput, and it's only going to increase the amount of times you break down and cause me issues. And I do not want that. Walker Farm. No, wrong one. I've already done that. I need to look at you. Woods breeding. There we go. Easily done. Now this alone is going to set me up with some decent stacks of dosh. But decent isn't good enough. I want to be filthy rich here. Again, I'm not setting this into a warehouse because I don't need a warehouse here right now. I will likely later on. Sacramento doesn't get most of this junk, sadly. And they're not going to benefit from veggies because they don't even want those. They will, however, definitely want some woody breeding. So, Sacramento I do feel like having a warehouse in. And I could have wood breeding set up to also head along a route here. I could actually have them come in and out on both sides. Hopefully that doesn't hurt me. It might, but hopefully it doesn't. So I set myself up with a warehouse and signaling center right about here-ish. Come on, I just want to crush the city with this thing, but I guess it's not happening. Needs to be kept at a healthy distance, I see. How's that for healthy distance, then? Will it allow me for another warehouse? Yes, it will. Just be sure to curve away pretty swiftly. So my brilliant idea looks something like this. Oh, not much like that, though. We don't need that much, oh no. We don't need that much red in our life, but I certainly don't want that many, I don't want a lot of bridge, because bridge is harshly expensive. Earthwork's not great either, but better than bridging. Okay. As hinted last session, I think you need to go more train heavy in general. I went pretty train heavy in the last level. I like to think I was at a good rate of trains there. Could go heavier still, but as long as I'm going to beat the goals, I don't see a need to overperform, because it just means that I overly invest in something that ends up disappearing on me. A dragon should take care of this quite nicely. To the breeding, to the warehouse. Make sure you're max on your breeding. Could be a problem if I have a train waiting to dock in here and you're busy stealing all the cattle, but there should be enough space here to house such trains, which reminds me, I'm going to need maintenance. I'll need maintenance here, and definitely maintenance here, and most assuredly maintenance here. I also need you to store cattle. What else do I want you to store? Well, grain, I suppose. And some beer. And wow, that's all you can take? Oh, well, take everything you can. Don't see any reason not to. Well, maybe there is a good reason not to. Perhaps there is such thing as too much. I don't know about that. I'll keep it at 20. If max was the best option, it would default to max. I'm sure. Okay, so far so good, but it can be better. Can usually be better. Sacramento. These guys don't want sugar on their everything yet, but they will. Now, I set up my beer business in Reading, and that's not good enough unless I actually fuel it with goods. So. How's the contours here? Hideous. But I might be able to split you around like so anyway. No more cities here. Reading's tiny. Well, cheers, Visceral Dota. Do I want a warehouse, or do I just want a big old regular station here? I don't think I care about warehousing this one up so much. It's Sacramento that needs to be big. I can care about them. This place will just get a train station. Oh, please tell me I put a signaling station in this station. That all looks like a signaling station to me. Thank God. I don't go in for the manual docking of my trains. Train station, signaling station. Now, you're going to be getting grain from there and heading down there to Sacramento. So there, that should do you fine. I'm going to be prepared to split you off. How exactly, though, I'm not sure. I'll take the left side here. If that sugar needs lumped in somehow, I'm sure I can figure it out. Let's try and stick to the contour here somewhat, so I'm not spending through the nose. But one way or another I have to go up these, don't I? So, as long as we're not bridging. Bridges are variable. I'm already bridging, haven't I? Holy crivens. No, no, no. How could I be bridging? I'm following the contours here. That's better. Right, save the big money. Measure twice, cut once. Much better. Oh, so much cheaper. The bridges alone were more expensive than that was. Sweet. And now Reading and Sacramento will be kept together very nicely. That grain still bothers me, though. Sure, I want to deliver grain to Reading, but... Not convinced on this just yet. Can we get this, please? There we go. Left-hand drive, of course. It's going to need a supply tower along the way. Did I supply tower you? I feel like I didn't, so there you go. This grain definitely needs to go to Reading, but I want that grain to also go down to here so that Sacramento can eat grain. San Francisco, I don't have a problem starving. But how do we sort that out? This is a horrible place to build along, but I gotta do it somehow. I could take it along here. It might even end up being cheaper just to go along here. Easier route to bring the grain down to Reading, because the alternative is to go up a fairly steep hill here or bridge massively along that. Although it's a longer route, I could just use more trains. Yeah, it's probably for the better. Holland's Preserve. Oh, that made sense for the fruit place. It makes a bit less sense here. Again, just making sure we're not using any of those accursed... Oh god, even going over here is going to require some serious bridging. Starting to think I might be better off taking the grain from all the way over there, because at least it's flat through most of that. Yeah, that could actually be the case. Let's try it out. Why not go north and nab the second grain farm as well? I'm thinking more just only take that grain farm. Can I maybe even make a large train station and connect you from here so I don't even have to bridge? Well, I'm going to have to bridge eventually, haven't I? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. How delightfully devilish can one man be? I'll work with the big one, less so with this. Question is that cheaper? No, that's definitely going to be more expensive than just bridging over. Here you go, here's your start point. There, that bridging's hardly expensive at all. And then it's just a case of bringing it over to Reading. Or is this like that Norfolk incident where they actually call it Reading? Don't know, hard to tell with the Americans. Get you your warehouse plus signaling control that you so deserve. And that's going to follow down here into that warehouse too. Lovely. The aptly named Warehouse 3. Okay, which side are you even meant to be connected to? Oh, it doesn't matter at all. God knows where you're going to connect up to, but I'm sure we'll figure that out in due time. Oh, that's a mistake. But it's a rectifiable mistake. There we go. Limited crossing over here, but that's fine. Can't cross on a bridge. And it spares me the price of crossing the bridge again, even if we do get a discount on it. And once again, go the Queen's Way. Come back the Queen's Way. Supply tower in anywhere we want. I'll go with that. Shouldn't be so close that it poses a problem there. And Lee's Farm will now provide... Now, here's the thing. They provide a lot of corn. Oh, not corn, grain. So much so that I might even want 2 going to red. How much do you even need with your stuff there? Apparently not a lot, but I don't buy that. Look, you have a capacity for 0.8 per week. We'll find out how long this takes. Dragoon. There we go. That takes about, let's call it 6 weeks. And you produce how much? I'm pretty sure I'm going to need at least 2 trains for that. And that doesn't even cover the ones that I want going down here to warehouse 2. So do we go through the warehouse or do we bypass it? Well, another way to look at it is that we just absolutely clobber this warehouse full of stuff and I only make a warehouse that goes between these 2. That way Sacramento's meat can go up to Reading, so that Reading can eat meat. And in exchange, you get the beer. However, you don't house meat at all, do you? Guess you're getting expanded already then, so I can have the space for that. And what about you then? You're also going to need to be expanded or else you won't be able to take the meat. Well, not necessarily, because you can do it like that. Does that beer go into the warehouse? Oh, I don't know that. Surely it does. I'll believe it, because it's what I want to be true. See, Bane's got it right. The meat is important because these people need it with their beer. I think I'll follow this one. Again, as long as we aren't bridging unnecessarily, we should be alright. Loris. Good local time, Jake. How goes the railroad? I like what you did with local time there. This game is really getting under my skin. In the good sense. Like, it's an itch that I can't quite scratch, but I want to keep trying anyway. It's good. Alright, Dragoon, you're going to go from Warehouse 3 to Warehouse 2. And just automatic, I suppose. Take what you can. I just hope it doesn't do something stupid like picking up grain to take to here, to bring grain back to here. That would be weird and stupid. So maybe I should give it explicit instructions. Your priority is to take grain and beer, and not take the meat. And in Warehouse 2, which I should really rename, but I want you to take the... Oops, I haven't actually told you to take the... I haven't told you to take the meat, have I? There we go, stock up on meat while you're at it. And that way... Oh, I don't think I signaled this, did I? I'll get on that next. In Warehouse 2, take that, and don't take that. They don't need cattle up there. Ah, crumbs, I didn't actually save that. Gotta always remember to save these routes when I give them the changes. There. Fortunately, it's so quick to do everything in this game that I don't feel that when I realize that I've made a mistake. Alright, this seems largely agreeable. It better, because I've spent most of my money. Indeed it would. Automatically, it would redistribute goods equally among the warehouses. If a warehouse exports a certain good, meat in Sacramento, beer in Reading, it's best to set capacity for 0 so trains don't go back and forth with those goods either. Really? But I want Reading to have beer in this warehouse so that it can be taken from here to the other place. The signals between the places are wrong, are they? You are completely correct, and that's a pain because I think the best way I have to fix that is just to delete the whole track. But it could be much more of a pain because really connecting it up is like 2 mouse clicks away. It's just having to do the correct mouse clicks. There we go. Well spotted. Very well spotted. There we go. Sometimes I scroll a bit extra or the scroll doesn't come through. But that should be fine. And the only other thing I suppose we need is some supply. We have a supply tower there. We don't have a supply tower here. The bank sends its regards. Alright, this should be pretty fantastic. I'm tempted to squeeze out a bit more. I imagine I could connect up just another town or so. Oh, I mean Los Angeles is here. It's got a fair few people. But this is a line for goods rather than people. The express line goes up to Reading, and it's not unthinkable to extend out to Gold Beach a bit more, just get more people flowing. Let's entertain the thought. If I wanted you over here, how would I not spend all of my life savings on bridges? I'm spending some on bridges, but that's unavoidable. You know, this might be alright. This might be alright. If we buy our... Well, I'm not going to buy that just yet. I'm going to get myself a small train station, because Gold Beach does not deserve bigger. I'm not even sure I'm going to supply you with anything down the line. I'm just saying, here's your that. Connect you up. Ooh, don't give me any of that bridge nonsense. We're not here to build bridges. There we go. This is a bit of an expensive investment, but whatever.
You have successfully connected many cities to the network. Well done.
Pretty good for a guy that hasn't passed a single day. So we'll get ourselves a new Rensselaer Express locomotive, because I'm not doing Express that much. Dining car, mail car, because it doesn't cost extra for those. The cost comes in limited limited capacity. Did I actually build one between Reading and anywhere else? I need to check that. Passengers and mail only. One should suffice. If there seems to be more than I'm supplying, then I'll add more. And once again, signal. Oh, I only built one track. Crumbs. Well, that's okay. It's the only thing that's going here. So I can add more train line later on. I don't want to spend that money right now. Famous last words, a temporary solution. There are a few things more permanent than one. I guess I didn't connect Reading and Sacramento then. Not a big deal. Just get myself another one of these express lines with dining and mail car. And you can get going. In fact, I should check my train list. I should make sure that it is sorted by top speed. That doesn't make sense. Why do the dragons have better top speed than this? Wish I could just sort by type of engine type. That would make sense. Gold Beach to Reading, Sacramento to San Francisco. Why is it called Sacramento 2? Oh, because it was the second one that was ever there. And Sacramento Reading. Supply post between Reading and Gold Post. Yeah, don't want to keep investing in this, but I suppose that is a completely necessary one. Which side is going to be added to? That side. Okay, this should be fine then. Glorious. I'm going to make a save because I did a lot of stuff there. I don't save scum, but it gives me a nice peace of mind. I have no reason to think that the game would crash, but I just like to be sure of these things. What do you mean you're waiting with track clearance? You should have all the clearance you ever need. No, it should be fine. Oh, right, you still have the wrong signaling, don't you? Tell me what you have. Do you have signaling at all? No, you should be fine. You should be able to go and pop onto this. You should be able to follow it all the way down to there. So I don't know what your problem is. There we go. Not a problem. 2 trains, Jake. Ah, yes, of course. This other train needs to stock up with huge sacks of grain. Security guard should be completely unnecessary. There is nobody... Ella Blair. How cute. But you will not be stopping anything because I have no competition. I bought them out the first day I saw them. Like any crafty guy would do. So this game hates to play its own music, doesn't it? I'm starting to really think that I should just go and say no music. And I go to Steam and I go Railway Empire soundtrack. And I just play album. Hopefully this isn't incredibly loud. I won't risk it, I'm going to bring it down anyway. There we go, and I'll just set that to shuffle, and repeat, and there we go. So I'm tired of this game just cutting out with music for long periods of time. Maybe that's what they want, but it's not what I want, and this is my stream. Peak Railway expanding music. Well, something's pretty peak here. There we go. That's what I love about the signaling thing. I didn't even have to think about which way they come in. They just go. And the money's piling in already. It's just so nice. And that's good money for just hiking people and mail around. Alright, down you come just a bit more there. Now, admittedly, the bank probably wants my hind legs by now. Sorry, I'll get my bonds someday. 8 rural businesses and quarterly profits need to go up, but that's okay, I just need to make more money and we'll be fine. I probably will want to connect you at some point, and I've got a half-decent route through here. I just need to split it off into the warehouse. I think I overestimated how hard this would be to come over. Sure, the incline's a bit unpleasant, but we just dig deep. We were okay. Did you put a supply tower to the Francisco business rail? In my head, I put one here. I didn't, but as long as I thought it, that's what matters. There you go. It's a good place for it there, because it's going to catch everybody. And he didn't even want it. Goodness, it looks so good. If only San Francisco stayed like this. Yeah, the real ticket's going to be expanding more and more into this. And I want to reroute this into a warehouse for San Francisco. I want my warehouses to be doing God's work here. I wonder what that 0 plus 19 is. I guess that's just we produce 19 per week or month or something. That is per week, right? Yeah, I'll believe it. Right, Reading pumps out that beer, but the beer only makes it down to Sacramento. There's something to be said for giving San Francisco beer as well. San Francisco is connected here, so it's not unthinkable to also grab the goods from Warehouse 2 and bring it to San Francisco, but I don't know. City exports are not actually stored, just made available. What? So if
As I mentioned, I'll be stuck in Washington over the coming weeks and won't be able to help you for that time. A steam engine needs oil as lubricant. Washington needs dollar bills.
I can believe it. So this says 0 plus 4 out of 20. If a thing came in demanding beer, it could take that 4?
I see old Huntington's keeping you on your toes. I hope you still have time for a bit of fun, though.
Probably. I already destroyed you, Beatrix, so please leave. Your existence is not tolerated in my world. From beyond the grave. Terrifying. There's little reason not to connect Eugene with Gold Beach. Hell, I could give... Oh my, there's Portland. I don't know much about Portland, but let's imagine I do. Inventor? Yes, 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 yes. I care not the cost. Give me those innovation points. I could actually get myself a Rogers American already and replace the Rensselaer. The extra speed is going to be dang good for my expressing. And I've not lost much value on my thingamajiggers, so I can go straight over to it. What was it? Here you are. And I can say, yes, please replace my express locos. Not a big cost. Ew, Portland, raise it to the ground. So tell me a few things about Portland, if you can, please. I'm aware I ask this often, and I'm equally aware that I keep missing what people say, but I am curious. Alright, what do I do with you? I might let you unload here and then do the big upgrade, because no matter how much I don't want to, I'm still going to have to go up and down these places. Just give me the ka-ching, that's a ka-ching, and then away you go. I wonder if the train will remain in use there. Regular train station with signaling control, please. Connect you up. Oh, you don't like that, huh? It's okay. Just do a little bit of remodeling here. It's really cool that it remembered that there. Made life easier for me. A lot easier. Am I connecting you on the correct side? probably. There you go. Expensive, sure, but what you gonna do? At least now it's an overall better connection. I think no matter what I do, I'm gonna have to go through these mountains if I want to connect Eugene with Gold Biatch. Maybe, just maybe, we can thread the needle enough not to necessitate that. But Portland, though... don't know about that. Well, try our best. It's the most we can do. Where are we thinking? Where's the least offensive to us? God, that is inclined territory. However, with a bit of creative tinkering, oh baby, I can make it through. Better believe I can make it through. Why is there a tunnel? That's where it's at. That is where it is at. Just a small 18% gradient. It's not a problem. It's only a problem if you make it a problem. Uh-oh, it's a problem. But it doesn't have to be a problem. Let's just rethink it for a moment. Kill that, we don't need that. Now, what we do is we just connect it up on this side, eh? Oh, that makes it tighter. Tighter is not good. But... maybe... a bit of bridging. Might even be a bit much bridging, but... we just find ourselves a nice curvy way down with minimal bridging. Et voila! A hypothetical bridge for now. Well, not bridge, but railway. But just imagine. No need for expensive tunnels around here. We just carve our way through the mountain. But I need the money before I can do that. And then Eugene gets connected up. Happy days. How's the grain flowing, by the way? Still producing healthy amounts of it. And Reading should be happy. And oh, they're very happy. They're getting meat, they've got their own beer, they've got grain, they've got everything they could need except for corn. Reading will eclipse San Francisco. Are you enjoying this game so far, says Muirhead. Not enough people play this game, and I love trains, so I'm thrilled to see you play it. So I love Patrician 4, no doubt about that. I mean, my love for Patrician 4 is extremely well documented, and probably some mental theses wrote about it by now. But that was over 10 years ago, and Gaming Minds since then put out Port Royale 4, which really just fell flat for me, so I'd kind of lost my faith. But then came this game, and this game combines the getting under your skin element of the logistical and economical gameplay that Patrician 4 had, but couples it with some really nice quality of life, visual facelift, I'd even say a performance boost from what I've seen so far, and on top of that, there are trains. I'm not a massive fan of trains, but like every sane person, I do like trains. So to have them around here is really quite lovely. Also to realize that I forgot to signal this. There we go. Lovely. Oh, and I've got my money to complete this. I hope the bank gives me another loan someday. I'm gonna need even more money for linking up Eugene. Eugene's in a downturn, sadly. So, notably, not a lot of passengers or mail waiting to get out of there. No wonder, all they have is corn. Nothing but corn. That doesn't sound good for anybody. A Moody Stoker? You know what, I'll buy you. I'm sure I have an express train somewhere that would... Okay, we don't get a lot of sound volume consistency here. Increase the profits of your factories? Sign me up. The auction is over because there's no competition. Sacramento to Reading. Now that's a good one for being an expressway. Doesn't look very expressy though, does it? There we go, assign you there. Ah, but you must be, because I gave you that new engine that I bought, the Rogers Americano. That'll be fine. If Jake goes full autist with this game, I will be thrilled. I fully intend to. And Mr. Muirhead, if you hang around for about 2 or 3 more hours, we're going to be deciding exactly what map faces the full wrath of the logistical and locomotive autism that this game is tapping into. Train loading, please wait. How long do I have to wait? Oh, of course you're waiting to load up to maximum. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. What's taking so long to load you? What's taking so long to load you? This place has enough... It has enough corn, so what's taking so long? I'm actually unsure. Loading times are longer the further you are from the farm, right? There's no space at the destination, so... Ah, no space, you say? That would make a lot of sense. A lot of sense. Okay, good to know. I won't worry about that then. There would certainly be space if it were a bigger city and or had a warehouse. But that's okay, there's no need to rush San Francisco here. A lot of meat for export, nowhere for it to really go, because Sacramento already makes its own meat. It's okay though, they'll eat their own meat. Right, after worrying about that, let's go and help out Eugene. Only a little bit though. Seems a bit excessive to give them this kind of signaling control on top of that, but I doubt I'm going to do that much for the north. Uh-oh. Again, tighter one first. Ooh. Very generous of the game to allow you to freely do so much with deleting stuff. It really lets you experiment a bit without feeling the burn. Imagine if it, say, only gave you 50% refunds on anything after the moment you put it down. Crivens, I wouldn't tolerate it. Interestingly, if there were people in the chat that played this game on release, I would love to hear if the game has changed much from that. Also, I put the refueling point up here. What a nightmare that must be to tend to. But it gets it there anyway. Now, Eugenius. You're going to get yourself a nice Roger Americano. Jinx, that's an expensive train. Better be worth it. Passengers and mail only. Make it happen. Just one should suffice. Portland should probably be part of this as well. Get Portland connected up with Gold Beach and Eugene. But I don't have the money. Ticket prices. Yes, please. Well, largely what I'm carting around now are people anyway. Yeah, there are different goods in non-US maps, but really they're just... there's no difference. There's no difference between grain or rice or corn, except occasionally it might be used as an ingredient for something else. To that extent, this misses something that Patrician 4 had. Since everything was consumed in every city in Patrician 4, it felt more like a puzzle that one could figure out, and it also felt a bit more... It just felt more like you were running a business empire, because grain and... Okay, let's go with grain. Grain was very cheap, but produced and consumed in huge amounts. Spices were very expensive, consumed in very small amounts. It really felt like you could choose between going for high value, low quantity things, or massively overproduction of... Good God, I hope you make it up there. Nice. Or massive overproduction of things like grain and just swamp the place with it. Here, it doesn't feel like it's that way, but maybe it is, and I just haven't figured out the game enough to realize it. Are you planning on doing free play or the additional scenarios? Yes to both. I'll cover that once we're done with this scenario. And this scenario does not look very tough. At all. I guess largely because I crushed the competition, but you know, that's what I do. Professor? Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Surveyor? Yes, yes, yes. Oh, he specializes in tunnels. I've largely gotten around building tunnels. I think I'd rather go around than through. And again, going through is probably long-term quite worth... Oh god, $1 million? $1 million? No, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. Not having that surveyor then. However, Portland will be connected up. Tempting to give it a terminal station, but terminals are so expensive. Also, did I put a maintenance post here? No, you're going to need it though, so there you go. Yeah, you're right, it could be 900,000 instead of that. This is more a city builder. Well, to that I would say that Patrician 4 had a more in-depth city building mechanic than this did. I said Patrician 4, right? Sometimes when you say so many words in a day, you start to lose track of what you're actually saying. But I'm quite certain I said Patrician 4. Then again, it wasn't good. Patrician 4 City Builder was pretty crap, so it's certainly better to have a less involved bit of city building. I see little reason not to just buy all these people. Well, actually, security guard... Oh, doesn't security guard increase freight value? I think he does. I rather think he does. Well, if that's the case, I'll get Corny guy here. Corny? Nah, I'll get the guy that does the beer. Beer is good. That's corn. But corn is also good. I'll give you everything, actually. Here you go. Here you go. Oh, Christ, I need to actually click the button. This is just a preview. They don't get on, so I'll pass on that. Anyone else want a conductor? Well, you've got all that meat on you. Meat's good enough. Here's your conductor. Now, if I were to assign you... Oh, you're already on something, so no thanks. Yes, I can sort trains by profit. Train list. Sort by balance, which seems a weird way of phrasing it. Sadly, none of them are that profitable right now. Oh, well, no, I tell a lie. Sacramento to Reading Express train is worth the $1. It's worth so much $1 that I should strongly consider giving it a profit for mail. There you go, get on that. Lovely. Is there a scenario where the temperature drops to minus 150? You can get scenarios where the north freezes. Another stoker. I mean, sure. I wish the automatic assignment would not put in conflicting members. That's a real shame. It's a nice touch, but I want it to be more automated, and it isn't. Wow, Eugene is really down in the dumps, but I don't think I could give them any meaningful industry. Well, I could make them produce beer, actually. Gold Beach does beer, and so does Reading. It would be a beer apocalypse up here. Ah, but there's logging. I could make wood stuff around here. Oh, and there's more beer in Baker City. What about you, Portland? You seem awfully sad. At least you get your wood. Okay, good. I was worried you would be very hard-pressed to pick up any speed from there. This is good, right? This looks so good. Now, graphics are largely meaningless in a lot of games. Some of the greatest games out there have got god-awful graphics. And I am strictly talking about graphics here, not style. But this is a good investment, because what's the point in setting up lovely train systems if they don't look damn good? I don't spend a lot of my time down here, but when I do, I want it to be good. Gotta hand it to Gaming Minds. They might have flubbed with Port Royale. They might still be flubbing with Port Royale. But they did something good here. Also bad condition. Lee Farm connects to Warehouse 3. Warehouse 3 needs maintenance building. There we go. I guess I'll connect Gold Beach with Portland. That means anybody that wants to go to Portland from even all the way down to San Francisco will be able to follow a train up to there. But you still need a train station. Oh god, I got no money. I'm not letting a lot of time pass before I instantly blow all my money, so I think I just need to be a bit more patient. Unfortunately, patience doesn't come too easy with me. I want the innovation so I can have a better freight train. The Dragon might be okay, but this is so much stronger. I wonder how much it costs. It doesn't give me a price for it. Then again, I want more passengers. Give me the passengers. Jake, you have me wanting to pick this up for my Xbox. Why? Get it for PC. If your PC can't run it, well, I'd normally tell you to get a better PC, but now is not the time of year to be hearing that. Well, now is not the year to be hearing that. I don't have a lot of time to connect up these rural businesses, do I? I mean, it's an easy thing to do, but which one even makes sense to go to these places? Sacramento at least is growing. Good. Very good. I'd feel like a traitor if I made San Francisco the better place here. Do you want your veggies yet, though? Nah, nowhere near. What a shame. Also, I can't even build over here. I gotta... Oh, there's a lot that I could connect up here. Everybody needed wood, right? I could bring wood down to Eugene. Hell, I could bring wood all the way down to Sacramento, who want their wood but can't get any. And corn... Sacramento gets corn. Must be by cart, though. You want your milk yet? This is something I don't like about the cutoffs for needing or wanting goods. I have to keep checking. At least in Patrician I know that everyone wants everything. But ugh, now I'm just being picky. Got plenty of wood right there. Reading would want that wood, and so would Warehouse 2. And I could also just split those into both of these, wouldn't be a big deal. Well, hell, all this money seems to have come out of nowhere. Let's connect up Portland and the wood. Again, terminal station just seems right here, given the location. I'm never going to pop out the backside of Portland. It's just so expensive for what I'm getting here. Can I link you up here? Nah, you're having none of that. Well, there you go, Portland. This is the biggest investment you're ever likely to get in your miserable existence. I just wish I could have a small terminal station. But no, all terminal stations have 4. It just seems like a big fat waste of money. It still feels like a big fat waste of money. Can I do anything other than that? Honestly, a regular train station with signaling control, although enormously too big. I might just mow down half of Portland for it, though. That sounds more appealing the more I think about it. There we go. Just divide the city. Christ, I'm just like Moses parting the waves here. Moses? Yes, of course. Ramesses was the less evil one. There will be a cry such as never been heard before and never will be heard again. I definitely had this coming in the wrong way. What am I going to do then? I could not connect you up to Eugene and purely connect you up to here, but this is already an awkward... Oh, well. Bully. You think you could get in there somehow? Yes and no, but mostly no. However... it's not really to be, is it? I could... getting you through the other side of Eugene would be an even bigger pain in the rear end. My difficulty here is connecting this track to this side of this track. It's not going to be pretty, but it might still be possible. Maybe I just need a better angle on it. Oh, hey, there we go. On the money.
Your rail network has now reached a total length that will make our competitors sit up and take notice.
And since the goal is to also hit up Sacramento, this should be quite good. Wait, transport 50 passengers from San Francisco to Promontory Point without stopping. Where is what's it Point? It's probably one of these god-awful places. Tyson, Flagstaff. Hey, Flagstaff. Milford, Salt Lake. What is this? It's not even a town. It's just a thing. Oh well, worry not. Now, admittedly, I did make that tighter, but there's nothing saying I need to branch off at the same point. Uh-oh. Should have done the tighter one first. Give me a break. There weren't a lot of options here. Oh, well, there we go. How convenient. It implicitly gets its signals here, but I'm still going to elongate them. Swell. Now, to be clear, Portland and Eugene are not connecting here. I could, but I won't. Here's your new express locomotive, the Roger Americano. Complete with dining car and mail car, because I like extra money and I can't guarantee the extra customers in such a backwater place. Passenger and mail only, get to work. Lovely. What did I say I'd do after that? The wood. Yes, the wood. But who wants the wood? Who deserves the wood? Oh, wait, there's wood right here. I could connect the wood to both this warehouse and that warehouse, and that would be fine. Wood tends to be produced in hefty quantities, so this will be okay. The thing is, I might want a dual train station here. Dual train station with signaling control, of course. Because I have a feeling this wood is going to fuel a lot of my economy. Good old wood economy never letting me down, of course, but where can you go? Oh, I had something good there. That seems alright, but it also feels like it doesn't. Yeah, it's a little too awkward for the other one. It needs to be something rather unpleasant like that. A shame, but you're going there. As long as I can connect you up, that's okay. That's fine and all, but I have to remember, do the tighter turns first. Then the less tight turns. Oh Christ. It's tight on both sides. Ah, shoot. But, that's okay. What I can do is that. And then you come together with them. And then we do this. And then we do that. Ah, Crivens, wrong way around. This is the tighter turn. Oh? I guess this is still a turn for you somewhat, and too tight for you. Why this when you could just take the wood from the nearest storehouse to everywhere else? So you're suggesting that I just shove the wood into here and then take it down to here. That does make a lot of sense. I'm not sure if it makes as much sense as I'd like, though. Yeah, that makes sense. There's also a lot less train line to do that way. You're right, I'm wrong. Commendation for that. I'm also going to save quite a bit on making this train station in many ways. Now, if I can just get you to line up nicely here. More plinky plonky for us all. Tighter one first. Wait, is that really... Yeah, whatever. Yeah, no, what was I thinking? There we go. That works out just fine. Groovy. So you're going to shove everything into this warehouse, and then there'll be another one bringing it back to here. And that should supply both of them with all the wood they need. Yeah, I'll take it. Loco, the Dragoon. Get there. It's, sure it's automatic, but just make sure that you max out on the wood, please. And that means you... Oh, you need to expand for that. It's getting expensive. Take wood. Take a bunch of wood. I'm going to need a fat lot of it. Actually, you know what? At this point, I'm thinking just max everything out. Although apparently we shouldn't max out beer at all. We should have 0 beer because it'll take what it needs from the city exports. Gotcha. Does that mean that you should have 0 meat? Because you get all the meat from the city exports, probably. Any thoughts on Necromunda hired guy? I don't even know what that is, Muppet. Thinking there should be a dedicated wood hauler from here to there. Or if nothing else, just another one of you. Just balance out between the two automatically. And now that I've set it, this place shouldn't demand any of the beer from down south. But that's not good enough. I need to make sure that it doesn't take the grain from the top. Well, props to you for loading the beer, because we always want the beer. Ah, you're the one I already set up. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. If Warehouse 2 ever somehow has too much grain, then I guess it's fine to bring it back to Warehouse 3. I'd just rather it didn't. I'd rather that place just got loads of grain anyway. Speaking of the grain, it's not that expensive to buy it up, and I might want to force it to go bigger, but I should be demolishing so much grain that it's easy enough.
Look at the numbers. Splendid. This cash surplus is impressive. But I have some good news for you too. My endless negotiations have finally been a success.
Ooh.
Washington has finally agreed. We can expand our network into Utah territory. This will allow us to connect Promontory Point, our meeting point.
Should be easy enough to do. And on top of that, I got more stuff here. They wait for trains 20%. That sounds fine to me. Although, freight car money is also nice. I've not been connecting the rural businesses, but I've had very little incentive to do so. I guess this this grain could certainly go to Eugene. Eugene already gets grain, but then I would be the one to get all of the money from transporting it. How much grain does Eugene want? Their weekly demand is tiny. Well, Eugene itself is quite tiny, so go figure. Gold Beach, however, makes beer. I could connect you up to them, no problem. I might as well, it's my task. Get this done sooner rather than later. Oh, right. You guys are gonna hurt for supplies. It kind of pains me to put a supply tower around here. Really pains me to put a supply tower around here, but needs must. I feel like I'm in Trento in Final Fantasy IX with this tune playing. Someone must know what I mean with that. I was entertaining the thought of streaming that game as a weekly one-shot, because that has the potential to be the longest stream I ever do in one go, and that's a challenge. That's a milestone I'm really keen on beating someday. I want to do a 17-hour or longer stream. Just doesn't seem to ever be coming together. Alright, Dragoon. Go. Just make sure that you're always tanked up with grain. To the card arena we go. Yeah, I'm not so hot at my... what's it called again? It's not Triple Triad, is it? That's one in 8. Terramaster, that's one in 9. There you go, that's another one connected up. 6 out of 8, 2 more to go and we're good. Well, we're already good, but we could be better. But who would I even connect up at this point? Unless one of these bad boys is now big enough for... Huh? Oh wow, there's weather effects in the game. Must have missed that. And good, Sacramento beats San Francisco, as it should. Yeah, I could link up the milk. They don't need cotton though, do they? Nah, they only need cotton if they start producing something else, but I could make them produce something else. The lovely thing about cloth is that's needed at 35k civies. I could build a cotton industry and start gobbling up the cotton. That would be good. That would work for me in both regards. Conductor. Transportation of mail. Sign me up. Show me the trains, show me the profitable trains, the really profitable trains, I mean. And give this a... Is that already a conductor? I think that is a conductor. Alright, next best one then. Show me the money. Sacramento, new business. Time for some weaving. Well, goodbye yet more of my money, but maybe I can talk to the bank and get more dosh by now. It might even be a consideration to pay off these crappy loans and then take out bigger loans, which I'm sure will be available to me by now. But I guess that ain't happening. Oh well. Sacramento grows, and it's all thanks to me. Are you abandoning the optimal San Francisco goal? I have no reason to want to do this goal. I hate San Francisco, and that hate will transpire and manifest in this game as well. I'm not taking over your failing business. Not if I have to pay to increase it as well. Okay, with that, I absolutely should bring over... Ooh. You can't have everything in here. The fact that you can only have up to 6 items in one warehouse feels rough. You can construct additional warehouses, sure, but still rough. And I still don't want their veggies or their fruits. But I'll bring them milk and cotton now at least. Milk and cotton, huh? Are you abandoning the optional goal of burning San Francisco to the ground, buy the soil and then salt it? I wouldn't pay for it. But no, not here. I will do that if America gets rolled, but America might not get rolled. That was the wrong thing to build there, wasn't it? Germany is a better map than America by how it looks in this game. And the UK, hard to say on the UK. It's small and awkward, but that kind of has appeal in itself. How close can I get you here? Quite close indeed. Except too expensive. But that's okay, we have, we might not have tons of engines going, but we have enough to make us a healthy profit right now. Fortress Aberdeen calls for a wet... Yeah, Fortress Aberdeen really appealed to me. That could be our Fortress Aberdeen. But I don't want to poison the vote here. There's going to be 4 choices, and I will show them... Oh Christ, what the hell is this? There will be 4 choices, and I'll show them all off once we're done with this level. And from what I can tell, this level looks really easy. Nothing so far has even come close to proposing a challenge. Maybe there is a challenge hiding here, but it's hiding itself very well. Going on here? There we go. There we go. That didn't cost me all my money this time. Honestly, I'd like to link all these together so that one supply tower works for all of them, but supply towers seem like they're one-off costs. I'm not going to go crazy over having to do extra ones. So now that cotton can come along. Get Loco, get a Dragoon. And as long as you pick up every last bit of cotton, then we're good. And also... We add cotton to this. Now, here's the question, milk. I'm aware that's not really a question, but I'm still asking it. I think sometimes I want to give Sacramento the milk, but how? There's no space in the warehouse unless I tell the warehouse not to collect cloth. Ah, screw it, milk's going in there. The cloth industry can find its own way around. But those poor American bones will be pathetic and brittle if I don't give them their milk. Jake, those bridges over nothing. What bridges over nothing? Oh, you probably mean the ones that they're just where? Which we got rid of. Very cleverly. Here, have yourself a stubborn engineer. Get that speed going. Ah, lovely having this money come in so nice and regularly. I'm certain I could build up a whole lot more, have a whole lot more trains. Well, money is needed for it. Applicants by 20%. Packages, yeah, packages are good. Mail and passengers do me good. Freight is probably where the real money is, but this seems to be working out just fine. This factory has made me $600 profit so far. Ah, someday it'll pay off the $200,000 I paid for it, but that's notwithstanding the money I'm making by now transporting this cotton, which otherwise would not.
The talks with the politicians are ongoing, but they are very tiring. They keep insinuating personal gain. Everything I do is for the good of California, not for my own enrichment. Yes, that happened as well, but that was just a side effect.
They don't know what they're talking about. Right, getting the milk in, getting the milk in. Oh, that's right, I already set it for the warehouse. I just need to plug you into this. And plug I shall. And again, we do the tightest one first. And then we can't because, oh, it didn't like this. Alright, abort. Oh, shift. Sometimes I feel like it's just, oh, sometimes it is click to remove, and other times it's shift click to remove. This game needs to make up its mind. Come on, there's a legal move around here. There's a legal move. I knew you had it in you. Tightest one first.
The many farms you've connected to the rail network will bring us lots of transport requests. We could do with the money.
I'm doing quite alright on the money, thanks, but just don't look at the bank statement. We don't talk about that. Again, it inherently gets its signals, but I'm adding them anyway. And then I need only create this. Now, it's a bit of a shame that I don't get to see the money that I'm making off of transporting stuff to warehouses. I guess this was the same problem in Patrician 4, and it's very hard to judge. But when I sort my trains by income, these ones just say, oh, warehouse. And it could be that it's delivering hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of stuff to the warehouse, but it's just not calculated in it. Which is a shame, but what can you do? Well, you can sit back and make money, can't you? Sacramento's on its way to 100k, that should be fine. But now I need
Yes,
to...
It's all about the money, but it's calming. When my old boss turned her back on Chicago, I'd already learned the business inside and out, and she left me everything. Before I knew it, I was the leader of the entire establishment, and I did this job excellently.
Oh, okay. I thought she was dead. She is dead. But our deep, deep guilt is causing her to still talk to us from beyond the grave. Okay, let's be clear on this. San Francisco. Ugh. Well, we gotta get there one way or the other. This music is a little bit pompous, don't you think? Right, it's going to take a lot of money to do what I want to do, but I'm thinking reroute these into a warehouse in San Francisco, and then get San Francisco a dedicated route that goes down and around and through here and all the way up to Promontory Point. Or we take some northern route. When selling used locomotives, depreciation is reduced. That'll pay for itself in no time. Okay, the other thought is we take this northern route of San Francisco's, branch it off over the route through Warehouse 3, and get them over to the point like that. That makes even more sense to me. I'm gonna have to bring more things into Sacramento. This place keeps growing. It's like a weed. Hey, it's more than 10% grown since it grew up and we got it its industry. To be fair, I am pumping this thing full of everything it needs, and I will build the building that makes it even more fulfillment so that I can get its numbers up even faster. Wait with connecting San Francisco until you're filthy rich and tunneling through the mountain. Nah, I already gave up my chance of doing that 10% cheaper. We'll just get these horrible people in San Francisco over to that point so we can complete that mission. My question is, can you actually branch off here easily enough, or would I be better having you go through Reading? Reading would require a bit of an extension, but that might just be a bit simpler for me. Yeah, so San Francisco, it goes, oh hello Reading, it ignores whatever's going on and just pops out the other end. I don't think I even want to double track this. We're just getting this done as soon as possible, because the very thought of doing anything to the benefit of San Francisco is it's not allowed. Oh, we need to get past you, don't we? Bridging over you doesn't seem too bad. But is tunneling cheaper? Come on, I know there was a tunnel option there. Tunneling is considerably more expensive somehow. Interesting. Why can't I just go through it, by the way? Why can't we just have a signal that says, sure, I'm heading through this thing now? Or does it only like that if I do it this way? But if I do it that way... No, this makes much more sense. Here's what we do. Screw all of this nonsense. Well, screw the majority of this nonsense. Bring you together here. Bring you together here. Now, surely I can just go whoop-de-doodle like so. I can't. Well, surely I can do this. Alright, I got it. I've got it all now. Here's how things are going to go. They're going to go my way. Oh crap, I deleted that, didn't I? Maybe not as much my way as I want then. So, what I'm thinking is you meet up like that, and like that. Keep on going along here. And then that allows you to connect over to you, and vice versa. Now you can come along and switch one more time. Great. Now anyone coming both sides can go any which way they want. I guess I could allow this as well. There, and one more. Although this isn't really necessary because nobody comes from this side. Okay, now, assuming that my signaling doesn't kill this, which it shouldn't, you should be able to drive along here, switch here, and then as you continue to go out here, that's where we branch you off. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Control click to remove. Why does this never go the way I want it to for coming out here? But I'm sure that will work. I have no reason to believe it won't work. And there's no need for any bridges or anything like that. Seems like a good use for a maintenance station. Yeah, but a maintenance station would also cost me quite a bit there. I just want these people to freely move around. Now I just need to arc it off here, because now it can be going from driving along here to driving along here. And then I need only find some way to cut it off from this. That never seems to go the way I want it. But maybe I should just build from the opposite direction if that's the case. Which I don't really have the money for. But someday I might. Oh, well, there's already a station here. That makes my life easier. You're already costing me oodles of money. Because you can't follow the contours. And there's no way I'm going over the water here. Well, tightest corner first. Come on, no to bridges. Just say no to bridges. Now, where are we going to? Our goal is to get over there. Okay. But again, no to bridges. Whoa, how are we already getting bridges here? Oh, that'll be how. It's no big deal, it's just a bit of earthworks. Elko? Winnie Mucka. Yeah, they're just making up names at this point, aren't they? I didn't overshoot, did I? Nope, far from it. Now, which side was I chasing from here? Doesn't make a world of difference, but okay, the right side. The right side from this perspective. Which sadly makes this the, not the tightest curve, but something like that. Now I need only save up the money. You can place the full line first and then tweak it. Could, but didn't. Although you're right, tweaking's probably better. Probably a lot better. Ugh, interest. And not the good kind. There we go, no land fattening already making me the fat profits. A little bit more, a little bit more. I'm curious to see if the guy says anything if I go into debt. I mean, when we went into debt in one of the other missions, they gave us, what, 2 million smackaroos? They gave us some crazy money for it all. Did I build in the wrong place or something? Where's my train track? Here's my train track, I just couldn't see it. Okay, thankfully this does connect up nicely. Now all I need to do is go side by side with you. Yes, I know I don't have the money game. But I will. There we go. Swell, now to save up another bunch of money.
Progress. but I'm still afraid that we might not reach Promontory Point in time.
Who's gonna beat us to it? I've got until
Your
69
boss
to do
is
it.
very nervous. I understand that the Union Pacific Railroad puts you under a lot of pressure and that you have to reach the meeting point as quickly as possible. But too much worry is unhealthy.
This from a woman with no friends.
I thought so back then. And a few years later, I had gotten tired of Chicago. I needed a change, so I sold everything to my friend Marion and decided to put my talents to another use. Many rich cutthroats were investing in the railroad, so I thought I can do that too.
Son of a gun. Well, son of a gun. I gotta go round you, and suddenly this doesn't look so hot. But it all of a sudden looks a lot better if I don't have a ton of bridges. Okay, better. Sorry, Winnie Mucka, I'm not actually servicing you in any meaningful way. I'm just going around. And now all I need to do is set up a line from San Francisco to Promontory Point without stopping. Now, who or why anybody wants to make this journey is beyond me. Why don't we have a look at you, San Francisco? The flow of people. How many people wish to go to the Promon something point? 500? Chings, I'd be desperate to leave as well, but it might not be that way. I'm not sure I've figured out how to read these numbers correctly. Each city shows how many travelers there are per week and how high their train use is. Move the cursor over a city to see destinations of the passengers. So is this telling me the destination that they have? Okay, maybe it wasn't that many. One person wants to go to this point. Really? This is going to take some time. Well, all the more reason to set up an express train for it. Once they see that it's possible, I'm sure people will be clawing for opportunity to do it. Why can't I go to Promontory Point? Ah, because I didn't set up my... I did not set up my signals for it, of course. Oh, I do have signals. Could it be that they just can't get back? Oh. Are you sure this won't overburden one line and make the other empty? I'm not sure about anything here. But I know that I'm blindly confident in it. Also, congrats on 35 months, Wintersphere. The time passage of this is just mind-blowing to me. It was never intended to go on this long. It was intended to go on for 100 hours. And God knows how many thousands of hours we've been streaming for. Passengers and mail only. Make it so. How many passengers do you have? Probably one. But they'll get it done. As for the questionnaire analytics, I'll have it up for a couple of weeks and then I'll stream a breakdown of it. Breakdown, analysis, whatever you want to call it. I'll read through it, explain both the questions and the answers and their implications. Not that the channel's going to change in big ways, it's just good to base the arbitrary decisions I make in something resembling reality. Also, you could really do with a supply tower along the way. I might even give you two because it's such a long way. There you go. And with that done, all I need to do is get the population in Sacramento and we're done. Sure, there's optional stuff, but it's all around San Francisco and my feelings on the place should be abundantly clear by now. Jinx, do I even need to help this place? It's doing just fine on its own. Well, once it hits 60, I can go and build it a museum to build up the fulfillment further. And that will That'll help it grow as well, because that's going to give it an extra 10% fulfillment, right? Fulfillment of demand plus 10%. Is that a flat bonus? I wonder. Because it was at 75 before. Well, whatever keeps it still growing.
Oh, I don't niggle over the details. I don't care what the best connection is or which engine looks best, as long as everything hisses and steams. Of course, none of these men would admit that I'm the one holding the reins. Oh, but I only need their money, not their appreciation.
Is this what it's like to be haunted? Alright. 0 out of 50. Maybe I should make a duplicate of you. In fact, I will. There's a clone. It's not like I'm struggling on money. I feel like you picked up more mail along the way. In fact, could someone tell me about Promontory Point? Promontory Point? Because it seems like there's nothing here. Well, there's now 5 passengers. 5 people, I guess. What does it even do, apart from immediately die? It's where the Transcontinental Railroad connected. Yeah, but I can't help but notice that we are the first ones here. What are we waiting on? Ito. Alright, what's going to be done first? Sacramento? Or not? Sacramento is growing like crazy, though. Things they could even do with the vegetables and the fruits that I've been denying them so far. Both are freely available down here. Actually, they already get them, don't they? Yeah, don't need to worry about that. They get plenty of fulfillment by horse and cart. So I could make more money by giving it to them, but I'm not really sure I care so much. Operational supplies missing, you say? Oh, it keeps flashing that because you're already stuck in there. Oh, that's right. You make a very short hop, don't you? Here's a supply tower. Don't let up. It's just a park now. There's no city. Ooh, promoter. That will increase residents in... We'll get there eventually. In Promontory Point? No, I don't think so. Go Sacramento. Grow. Grow outrageously large and fast. He's adding about 1,000, well, maybe not that many, but he's adding a ton to it. Well, that's just more people that want to leave Sacramento and make me more money. I could probably massively increase the amount of passenger and... caboose? Sure, it's practically free. Alright, no, I figured there'd be more people going to... Well, no, they wouldn't go to San Francisco, would they? But Sacramento grows at a terrifying rate. Even Redding. Man, I'm too good at this. Triple the amount of citizens in a Promontory Point is 0 to 0. Does truly nobody live there today? That kind of seems a bit sad.
Thanks to your work, Sacramento has become one of the most influential cities and a hub for our rail network.
Breakdown. Oh, I can give you a maintenance building here. Try and do something with Promontory Point. Well, since I only have one thing left to do, I'm just going to copy that train. Bad condition. Do I not have a... Yeah, I do have a maintenance building. What's taking you? Oh, right, that's San Francisco to Promontory Point. Which amuses me, given that it still has mail and passengers from that point. And there you go, off with more passenger. Inventor, eh? Yeah, give me those points. I like the points. Anything that gets me more people there. I wonder if they count as the underworld, though. It's just freelancer, not underworld, so more of those tend to be pretty good. Yeah, ticket prices as well, please. pretty much every non-coastal area in the US West empty. We'll take that over San Francisco any day. I feel like maybe...
Luckily, there are enough fools willing to invest in a well-run railroad company. I just cannot show them too clearly that it belongs to me. Let them think that they're the geniuses, just as long as the majority of the profits ends up in my pocket.
She just can't stop listening to her own bleeding voice, can she? Freight prices now. Yeah, people might get the impression I'm ragging on to San Francisco way too much, but you have to understand I have never been so disgusted by a city in my life. In my heart, I'm doing a public service by discouraging others from going there. But from what I can tell, it's somewhere people love to be. Hear about all these people aspiring to go there. Ugh. A visit to Rio will much improve your view of San Francisco, says TBW. Oh god, this is slow going. Oh well, just speed up until it's done. I guess I could. No, this goes against every bone in my body. And once you're at 60k, you can build the university, and I'm not doing express anything for San Fran. Curing pest with cholera. Not certain it's a win. For some reason, things are really expensive there, so it seems to be popular enough, Jake. I think there's a lot of really high-paying job opportunities there, but that just goes to feed one of my least favorite things about San Francisco, which is the enormous wealth disparity there. You've got these big streets of glittering gold, and you've got all these homeless people just running around the bottom of it, cowping over bins to go and grab some chips out to stuff down their face, and people just walking by like they're not even there. There's so much crime going on. I remember just looking at I think it's a Walgreens, the shop. Don't know, we don't have them here or in the UK. And I just see kids walk in, just fill their pockets and leave. And nobody bats an eye. Nobody cares. It's just such a... It feels like such a failed state. Connect San Fran and Prom Point and let those idiots choose for themselves. Give me the Prom Point. Seriously, I'd rather build something for myself out here. Chips are French fries. No one looks in bins for potato chips. Yeah. Maybe that's the real American dream, but it disgusted me to my core, and I could never think to go back there. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed my time in San Francisco, but that's because of what I was there for. The city itself, what a pigsty. Now that's an insult to pigs and their sties. There are doubtlessly people watching this from San Francisco. It's big enough, and my audience is American enough for there to be people from there, but I've never heard anybody actually decry what I say about San Francisco and tell me that I'm wrong and it's a great place. It's just a silent agreement. No suitable freight? Oh no, that's warehouse to warehouse. Fair enough. Add more trains for Depression Express. I think I've tapped into as many of those as I can do by now. Well, you're getting serviced here at least. I really like the look of these terminal stations, but they're only really going to be useful in a situation like this where there's no reason to come out the other end and you need to save some space. Because this is so cool. I really like that anybody could come in from any of these lanes and fit into any of these that are free. It gives me more appreciation for actual train stations, the ones with a dozen terminals or more, that they can actually get their trains in and out quite freely. Very impressive, in fact. All the people fleeing San Francisco and their mail to glorious Sacramento. I don't know anything about Sacramento. I didn't even think it was a real place until today. But now I see. It wins by default. Tell you what though, I'm going to reward it with an expanded station. Just mow down some houses here. And that's going to allow more throughput here. Because if there were two things previously, they'd clog up for people trying to go to and fro. Now it'll be fine. Shame it turned down a brewery. Oh, I could have my own brewery in Ilko. But I'll pass. Wait, still 21? Perhaps there'd be more people wanting to go to Promontory Point if San Francisco were a bigger place. Alright, let's do the unthinkable. Let's promote San Francisco. And I'm very curious to see the effect of this, because San Francisco stagnates. It shouldn't grow. What's that looking like? 250, 300 people per day for 6 weeks? The promoter seems very strong. Very, very strong. And it said it had more effect if they're an upswing. Good grief, a month and a half of that? Powerful. The people from Sacramento also wish they'd never heard of it. Okay, true enough, this is taking long enough, so we should at least enjoy the route. The next guy that comes in to do the route we're going to follow. Jinx, I actually grew San Francisco just by lying about how great it is to live there. That's taking too long. I'll just get another Promontory Point and clone you. Alright, guys. Whoa, 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 whoa. Slow down there. Chugga, chugga, chugga. Make haste and lay waste. We're getting out of here. Hello, Sacramento. Goodbye, Sacramento. At that speed, I'd be terrified of mowing down the terminal points of the track. No need for supplies. We're fresh out the gate. Let's get another view of it. Well, this is really rather nice, isn't it? You need a demotor to burn cities down? Okay, we're coming up to my custom-made signaling, which should allow this train to head all the way over to the right. Something isn't right here. Something is very not right. Something is too right. How are we on the wrong side of the track here? I think this is from my signals that I murdered. Yeah, because I deleted these tracks and didn't replace the things. Well, that's okay though, because they're still able to get onto the correct bit of track. Driving in the right lane just like God wanted. Well, I'm sorry, but I think God answers to the Queen. Oh, that is one screaming train. Alright, pick up the pace here. We've got maybe one passenger desperate to get to the point. Man, it must be amazing being a train driver of something like this. The power. The fresh air. And the glorious smoke. It's just pass through these cities that don't even matter on our way to a point that somehow matters more. Oh, I like that. I like this bendy route along the lake, though. Is this a lake? I mean, it is a lake, but what lake is it? 13 grand made on that. How? Who's paying us for this trip? Who are we sending the letters to? The situation raised more questions than answers. Tell you what else raised some questions. My god-awful signaling. Where did it fail? It failed here, right. There we go. Get people going the right way along there. Oh god, Portland grew? I don't supply Portland with anything. And yet their fulfillment is quite high. That is suspicious. Good thing I've got until 69 to do this, because it's taken forever. Jake, the government, they're paying you to transport the mail safely. Really? But... Ooh, Tyson 10-wheeler. That's a bargain. Where's the Tyson 10-wheeler? Oh, well, it's a downgrade, actually. However, the Consolidation 280... Lots of nice things, but it doesn't really matter so much. I'll just take my points and... Actually, what will give me more customers at this point? These comfy chairs. Monthly gain... Ooh, Industrial Congress. So many nice techs to have. They're all very unfamiliar to me, and they go on and on and on. Shaft ventilation, worker accommodation... A lot to be had here. This is pretty beefy. Okay, please game. Keep bringing me those customers. This one's not even bringing anybody. San Francisco letting me down as usual. Bad condition. Right, that's telling me something here doesn't have a maintenance shed. There you go. Wow, Reading all this time didn't have a maintenance thing? Is this a new patrician, says Facebook Smuggler? It is exactly that. Difference is, though, that I never played scenarios on patrician. I only went for free mode. I did the... the campaign of Railway Empire, because it was a good way to learn the game before jumping into free mode. And I'm glad I did. But I feel like I've learnt pretty much everything I need to know to play free play. I might not know all the optimal things, and I certainly don't know all the research, but surely my fundamentals in patrician will allow me to grow the perfect Hansa equivalent of this. I feel bad leaving out Arizona here. I'd love to go and see Arizona someday. I mean, you'd get the impression here that it's nothing but red rock and desert, but there's a lot of greenery to the place. Also, I want to check out that highly elevated area and just see how oppressive the heat gets. I've come to like oppressive heat a lot more these days than I did as a kid. Come on, get those passengers over, always with the one goal that takes so much longer than everything else in the campaign. Arizona is hotter than hell, and with the people to match. I have it on good authority that there are friendly people in Arizona. Also crazies, but you get crazies in every hot place. If you want a significant lack of crazies, go to somewhere cold. No, I'm not playing Patrician 3. I tried once, the game instantly crashed. I don't think it likes modern systems that much at all. Wouldn't be half as interesting to watch if you knew the optimal setup array, says Morcus. Really? Because the Patrician 4 Perfect Hansa game I did, I knew everything about that game, and it still remains one of the most popular things I've ever done in my life. Only one of, though. The most popular thing I've ever done in my life is that Ryukyu After Action report. Chief Engineer at long last, I can have renovation points. That's one of the things I've never even considered to watch. Well, you know, 1 in every 3 viewers wants more Patrician 4 on the channel. So I'm sure they're happy to see Railway Empire. It's very much in the same vein. That said, come on game, we've spent like 30 minutes just waiting on these people to go to this freaking point. No, that's Salt Lake City. There's the point. Someone's coming in. Agonizing. Tell you what. Ignore the cotton farm. We're going to follow you. And we are going to notice when we pass by another train. And that train will doubtlessly have the passengers. And we'll check it out from their point of view. I attempted the Three Mountains a number of times, yes. I think I did it in one shot in EU3. But I had so much experience in EU3, it was unreal. There were like 2 people maybe better than me at that game. Maybe I'm blowing my horn a little hard there. I didn't play it competitively. Then again, the overall skill level was a lot lower there. It took me 2 shots to do the after-action report that I made for the forums. I remember one time things were falling apart and I did a Hail Mary on Ming and that just didn't happen. Then the second one worked out. That was before any Infinite Monarch Point shenanigans though. But the money was good. What perspective is better, truck or train? Truck. It's different though, because I don't have to control the train. With the truck I have to consider that. I haven't done trucking in ages. Need to get on that. Exile looting, that was right. Exile looting combined with, I think, mission rewards? Yeah, I seem to recall getting thousands, if not tens of thousands of ducats every, like, 2 days from missions, because you could cycle missions. I don't know, this was so long ago that it's hard for me to remember the things that transpired. I remember sending in tens of thousands of Ryukyuan soldiers against, like, a 6 stack of Austrians, and they killed so many. I think I actually lost, had to retreat and send in more reinforcements. Simpler times. When EU4 first came out, I think it's one of the most excited I've ever been for a game to come out, because I played so much EU3. And I was on the top of my game back then, because every waking hour I dedicated myself to playing more of the game, learning more about the game. Even after hundreds of hours, there were still things I didn't understand. I'd go to the forums, pick things apart. But best of all, I had a really close-knit bunch of guys that I could brainstorm the game with. And I still play games with those guys to this day. Okay, where are the rest of these trains? I need these passengers. Have they been abducted by San Francisco, not allowed to escape? There we go, the final passenger. Let's go. Let's freaking go. Oh no, no, we're not going. There's no escape. Back to Erfurt you go, but it's not Erfurt, it's San Francisco. Yeah, sure. Oh. Yeah, sure. You know, I've almost grown San Francisco in all this time. We didn't get another promoter, did we? No, just an inventor. But I'll take it, and I'll make sure that I've paid off all my Oh, I already have. What a good day to be us. Researching bribery. The concept hadn't dawned upon us before. This extremely unfitting Andean flute has me convinced you need a special playlist OST for the winner of the vote. The trouble is, I can't really play anything that's going to get copyright mashed. This music appears to be owned by Gaming Minds at least. Or maybe Calypso. Oh, maybe this shows the number of passengers. Ooh, I don't know though. I just don't know the number of passengers that's on the train. Come on, Morcus, everyone's dreamed of Tetris. You know the Tetris effect.
You have transported the first passengers from San Francisco to Promontory Point. A journey like that would have been inconceivable until recently.
What, because there was no
You
Promontory
didn't have
Point?
much time, but you were successful nonetheless. You managed to cross the Sierra Nevada and arrive at Promontory Point before Union Pacific. You have secured your place in the history books. The final hammer strokes at the meeting point of the Central Pacific Railroad and Union Pacific Railroad sparked a storm of enthusiasm across the nation. The time of dangerous ship passages, sluggish river transports, and exhausting wagon journeys was over. Despite all obstacles and dangers, a link between the East and the West was forged. Goods and passengers could now travel unhindered from the Pacific to the Atlantic. In the years that followed, there were still many perils and crises to overcome. But on this day, the foundations for an era of unknown growth and prosperity were laid.
Yay, and I get the lowest rating ever because I completely neglected San Francisco, as well I should have. Made tons of money though, even though we don't go bananas with the trains. Wait, continue playing? It will be oh! Oh ho, interesting. You'll gain innovation points until the end of 1883, the end of the initial era. I hope it does that for free play mode. I'm a little worried that free play mode might come to an abrupt end after 100 years. What if I want to keep playing? Nah, surely it'll be fine. Also, surely I don't care about this. Let's, I guess I can just overwrite that. Okay, as Mr. Bob Ross would say, it's time for a big decision. Actually, how do I come out of this? It's not quit game. Rating? There we go, rating to main menu. Time for a big decision, and you are going to be making the history. Maybe not as grand as that transcontinental railway, but a big decision nonetheless. Looks at music for it though. Free mode. I won't be doing free mode just yet. I'm going to do some scenarios first. I don't know exactly which scenarios. I'll decide that probably in the heat of the moment. But free mode is where I'm going to make, hopefully, a big, perfect setup. Massive railway setup. Every town hustling and bustling, except if we're in the... we'll probably find one city or a handful of cities to burn to the ground, depending on what the viewers prefer. Although if it's the US, it will be San Francisco. Now, there are 4 up to bat. There is all of America. Well, the United States of... There is Brazil. I know it says South America, but let's face it, Brazil's the only thing worth knowing there. The United Kingdom and Ireland, all of it. And Gross Germany. Tough choice, really. Great Britain and Ireland is definitely the smallest and tightest map. It's also not that interesting, but for me it's quite homely, and I think it might be kind of interesting to work around how tight it is. Germany is huge and beautiful and has a lot of towns. The only downside is Germans, honestly. South America or Brazil is a pretty disastrous map, really. Just ask TBW. And the USA is a great map. The only downside is we've seen a lot of it. We're going to take another look at all of them, and you will be making a decision on which one we play. I'll put up a vote as soon as we've looked at all 4 of them.
Isn't my uniform fabulous?
Yeah, sure. Change the game language to German for the German map. I'd be tempted to do that, but the language also changes all the text, and I do need to understand what the boons are.
This time you have to deal with 3 arrivals. Pay attention to your task list if you want to achieve a higher rating.
So this is every inch of mainland United States of America. Notably fewer cities and lower detail here than when we were playing here in the West before, but that's to fit in the entire map, I imagine. So from San Francisco and Portland and Seattle all the way over to the other Portland? Oh, he's fast. New York, Washington, the city not the state, Charlotte, Atlanta. All of Florida represented only by Jacksonville, which is a bit sad. Jake, turn on the height map. It is on, but you only really see it here. It's got its lumps and bumps, much is for sure. See, the USA in terms of landmass is pretty great. Very varied. It's not like something like Denmark. Florida man disapproves. It's big, but it looks boring, says Jarrett. Certainly is big. I wouldn't agree with boring because it's got everything going for it. It's also very recognizable for a lot of people. The boring part for me is the fact that we've just done America. We did 5 scenarios for America. Do we really want to spend all our time in free mode here as well? There's reasons for and against it, but I won't be the one deciding. You will. That's America. Let's move on. What if I hit restart, actually? Is it just going to bring me straight back to the map? I hope not. Doesn't feel like the kind of game where a restart button is necessary. Spent our time in a less detailed version of America, no less. Okay, no, it does just take us back. Right, back to main menu then. So, bear that in mind if you want America. Next choice up. Brazilianaires. Where will we start out with? Well, let's go all the way up to Salvador. Manual pause.
Strong leadership and
I pity those Nile.
Oh, they don't have specific Brazilian-looking characters there, which is a shame. We won't be coming back to free mode after the scenario, so it won't be as fresh. Correct, Jorlum, it won't. Okay, here is home of all the Brazilians.
Capital transferred and your list of tasks created.
To all the people that answered my asinine questionnaire, when I asked them, if I gave you a magic wand, what's the one thing you would change about the channel? They said, no more Brazilians. Well, this is not your kind of place then. It seems rather sparsely populated here. And it's kind of bothersome how it's chopped off at the top and the bottom. Doesn't really feel like I'm dealing with all of South America here. But if you want this channel to be even more Brazilian, then this is the place for you. The terrain, I imagine it being a bit more lumpy and bumpy. I guess we'd have to come over to the west coast for that. Oocha bugger. I think one day or another I'd have to carve a tunnel through that, because getting around it doesn't look so simple. Or there's glorious Rio. Oh my, the fortress of Rio here. Nice coastline. Rio, the well-known producer of chicha. How big is a train station here? I think all the train stations are the same size. Yeah, the stations don't seem to change throughout the eras. The trains certainly do, because we start off with a Grasshopper 040. 25 kilometers per hour with 11% tractive power. That's a terrifying prospect. We'd need to get a research groove on. Good lord. Although they start getting real fast, don't they? We can go all the way up to EMD diesel trains. 140 kilometers an hour express train. So what's the freight train choice for the late age? Ah, the Texas. Massive power. How many workshops and engineers will you need? Yes. Okay, that's Brazil. Still 2 choices to go, though. I think I'll save the best for last on this one. Right. Not doing Japan. Japan is boring looking. Sorry to say it, but the map is not inspiring. Let's head up to Aberdeen. I spent a long time in Aberdeen. Oh god, no, realistic. I'm looking for manual pause.
are you a man or a mouse?
I hear Aberdeen's a bit of a dead city these days. Maybe not dead, but certainly dying. Since the oil went belly up, and it's, you know, the oil capital of Europe, or whatever it likes to call itself. Well, I haven't been there in ages, so I can't see it. But if there's one thing I remember about Aberdeen, it's how all of Aberdeenshire is one massive fortress that no one could ever hope to invade. Very cool. But that is just a part of it. It is Great Britain here. Definitely the least landmass to play with out of all of them. And if we ever wanted to make Thurso or Inverness big metropolises, it's going to be hard as hell. In fact, how do you even get these industries out of the Highlands? Looks grim. Looks real grim. Even Fort William. You got to go down even further than Edinburgh to get something that looks like you want to build on. Here we go. Suddenly we're in Easy Town. Hull, Leeds, Wrexham, Hereford, Hereford, Hereford. Very recognizable for me. And a nice variety. Jinx makes Ireland look so huge here. A nice variety on what you have to build on here. The space... Yeah, the most interesting thing here, I think, is the tightness of space, especially up in Scotland. Otherwise, acknowledging nothing in France. If we're playing on this map, will you start in the Highlands? Oh, definitely. Aberdeen is actually lowlands. But I don't have any love for Inverness. I might start in Aberdeen. It's not lowlands, but it's close enough to the Highlands. They're not called the Grampian Mountains for nothing. Scumd, of course. Oh, jinx, they'd already have Glasgow? I'd have to link up Edinburgh before anybody else got to it. Yes, the Hamlet of Edinburgh. Terrifying. Anyway, that's the UK. Finally, the map that Gaming Minds doubtlessly put the most effort into, I wonder why. A little hint, the developers of this game are German. Großdeutschland. The Middle European landscapes are stretching, I'm sure they are. Let's have a look, see what you have here.
Strong leadership.
Nah, no way in hell are we doing Scandinavia here. Good question. Is Erfurt on the map? I couldn't remember where it is. I can't zoom out the map enough to get a
Your company
good
has just been founded,
feel for
your
it.
startup capital transferred, and your list of tasks created. But beware of your 3 opponents.
So the minds of Gaming Minds are well aware that Germany stretches from Flensburg down to Innsbruck. Bad example. Klagenfurt. There we go. And from Orstov over to Köln. Okay, well, Köln is actually legitimate here. Sad blank part here. Maybe there's nothing living over here. I'll believe that. It is huge. I think it has the most cities of any map that there is in the game, and the terrain is incredibly varied. You've got some decent flatlands around here, so you've got some nice easy places to expand. So Flensburg, Hamburg, great and easy. And then you head down to mountainous hell right here. It's like, ooh, I'd really like this ore, but how do we get it out of this Satan's pit here? How indeed. Salzburg. Glorious German Salzburg. This one would probably take the longest time, but the variance in the map and the immensity of it look quite nice. I wonder if there are any specialty goods here that aren't in the other maps. Sausages. The Germans need their... oh, vegetables early. Their pigs, their sausages, their pastries, their hops, their wheat beer and sauerkraut. Suspiciously German clothing. Fruit brandy, sugar beets, gingerbread. Feldspar and... okay, the Germans demand a lot from us, it seems. Austrian Salzburg, Jake. I see the joke is lost there on Shizo, 1969. Oh, and they use Dutch marks. I'm assuming that's the symbol for Dutch mark. Anyway, you've had plenty of time to deliberate. We're gonna put it up to the vote now. Let's come out of here so we don't have any German bias. I'm sure we have enough of that already. Start poll, new poll. Which map for massive railway empire? And we have USA. We have, what were the other ones again? Brazil. Britain and Germany. You get to decide, not me. The poll's going up for 3 whole minutes so that I can stop and take a drink. Now, how can we get you onto the screen here? Bring you up and bring you down. Okay, the Germans are out in force and the Brits are there to fight against the Germans. I feel like I've seen this episode before. Yeah, I must have, because the USA is sitting back doing nothing and Brazil is trying to avoid bringing attention to itself. So it's going to be between the two polar opposites here. the small and obscure Britain for building on, and the vastness of gross Germany. Would you mind showing the Swedish map? Sure, I mean, that's not going to bias things in any way. We'll bring it up whilst the votes flow. Here we go. Northern Europe, as they call it. They couldn't even call it Scandinavia, although it doesn't include Finland. There we go.
Is over.
Germany versus Britain, but Germany has a bit more muscle behind it, so it's strangling down the Brits here. Never expected World War III to be about trains. Why not? 1 and 2 were.
This time you have to deal with 3 arrivals. Pay attention to your task list if you want to achieve a higher rating.
So it goes up to Stockholm, right in the city centre, right there. Man, I just want to leave it. This is too depressing to play on. I just want to leave. There's a lot of Stockholm here, but it looks awfully boring. Look how vast and empty it is. And that is modelled in this game, it seems. Typical, just looking over at Northern Europe whilst Britain and Germany slug it out. Do they have Copperbatty here? Is it called Copperbatty? I forget the name of Copper Mountain. Not actually sure. I don't know if the goods are distributed at the same time every time. The closest thing to excitement you get around here is trying to link up Norway. Even then ain't that amazing. And then if you want to be super boring, head down to Denmark. Blah. Oh, but they also get Flensburg on this map. Funny the way the world works out. Okay, it's really down between Britain and Germany. Germany continuing to eke out that extra lead. I greatly suspect it's because the Germans are here in their droves. They tend to be for this kind of game. And they're serious and slightly less serious, but none of it is funny. Oh god, that is neck and neck. Britain finally pulling ahead. James, is it 1944 already? No, it's 1830. And the Germans trying to pull it back, but they got 20 odd votes to make up here with precious seconds on the line. Who's going to win World War III? Britain versus Germany. Who's got the power to pull it through? And at the last moment, Germany wings it. Wow. Not even 10 votes in it. But the Germans have managed to come together in great unison. One nation, you might even say, to ensure that it is Germany and surrounding areas that's going to be our big map. So, as I said, we're not immediately going to be doing this massive map on Germany. We're going to do some other scenarios. I haven't picked which ones yet. Obviously not Germany now. To really hone our skills at the game so that we're ready to make Germany as gross as possible. You might not think that'll take a lot of work, but we will do what we can on that one. And I will get started with said scenarios tomorrow. We got options. I might actually do Japan here just to show off how gross it is. I've been told it's quite difficult. I wouldn't mind going down under. Not doing you. Probably not doing you. Nope. Yeah, maybe. No way. Okay, there are some good options. We might get 3 or 4 of these done before we do the Gross Britannia. But you have elected Germany, and Germany we shall have. So until our next stream, which will be more of this and more Rune Factory 5 tomorrow, for me it's a good god it's 11:30 at night. Well, bed then. Cheerio.